Hi. In this question, we aim to solve this quadratic inequality. So x squared is bigger than 3 brackets x add 6. The first step you would want to take is to expand the bracket so you can see the exact nature of the quadratic. So what we have here is we have x squared is bigger than, expand, 3 times x, 3x, 3 times 6, 18. Now, we all know that quadratics would always come in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So we would want to put this in that form in order to help us solve it. So that would mean we subtract 3x from both sides and then subtract 18 as well from both sides. That would then bring us to x squared minus 3x minus 18 is bigger than 0. Now, if you look at the left-hand side of it, we're going to try to solve this quadratic as if it was a quadratic equation in order to work out the critical values. Okay? So imagine that we had this quadratic equation. So we're looking for critical values. Okay, so we have x squared minus 3x minus 18 equal to 0. So we're looking for two numbers. Let's call those two numbers m and n, yeah? Whose product will give us negative 18 times 1. So they would multiply to give us negative 18, but then they will add to give us minus 3. Okay, so if you think briefly about those two numbers, you will be coming up with a negative 6 and a 3. Okay, so what do we do next then? That would mean that our equation will factorize into x minus 6 and then x add 3. Okay, now when we have the product of two expressions and the answer is 0, that tells us that either x minus 6 is 0 or x add 3 is 0, which ends up giving us critical values of x equals 6 and then x equals negative 3. Now, in terms of our inequality, we will need to know how it would have looked like if we tried to sketch it in order to be able to pick. So this would have been a U-shaped parabola. Okay, so that's the parabola. And what we have, because the graph is crossing at 6 and minus 3, we can put that there, minus 3 and 6. So we are interested in values away from to the left-hand side and right-hand side of our critical values. So that tells us that the x here will be x less than minus 3, because the values to the left of minus 3 will be less than minus 3, or x is bigger than